Do not act as if it's like a roulette table. Like, look, we're going to lose some of them, and I know we're not going to raise all those kids. If you fertilize the egg and then it doesn't attach to the wall with the full intent of raising those kids, that's more morally justifiable, other than we're going to throw 6 ones up against the wall and see which ones stick. That one I find to be bordering on eugenics. I know that sounds to be a provocative statement, but it is. Basically, we're going to kill 5 to let 1 live. Does that make sense?
Yes.
And albeit, you guys are going to have a great life because of IVF, and I think that's a beautiful thing.
Thank you.
Thank you both.
Thank you very much.
Yes.
I do have another, just like one more. What would it take for you kind of like answered it, but what would it take for you to be like borderline morally okay with IVF?
Yeah,
if we are able to.
I think I've articulated it. It would largely invalidate the IVF. And what I've just articulated would make the IVF outcomes go down dramatically. Because the reason why IVF outcomes are able to be successful is that each round of IVF, if it does not attach to the uterine wall, the doctor says, well, we did 6, let's do 10. And let's do 15. Let's do 25. Now, that's extreme, but it does happen where they want a baby so badly, they're just going to throw everything they possibly can. So what ends up happening is then they give the mom progesterone, which then basically makes the uterine wall, quote unquote, sticky during her time of ovulation, which then can make the baby then attach to the uterine wall. No easy answer. I think, so last final point. Infertility, I think, is a symptom. It is not in itself a sickness. Infertility, I think, is a symptom of terrible diet, of genetic issues that we're not able to necessarily understand. And in my opinion, I think there are toxins that are poisoning us, that are artificially lowering testosterone rates. And young ladies, I'm going to get so much hate for this. If you never want to deal with infertility, be very careful taking the pill. The pill has a lot more downsides than they will ever tell you. Be very careful. As a man, I know I'm not allowed to say that. There's a lot of downsides to the pill. And am I allowed to say it? Thank you.
Yes, you are. Yes,
because
sir.
the pill will dramatically increase your likelihood of going to an IVF industry clinic. Do you want to know the even more sinister take? If I was just caring about profit, I would try to get a bunch of 14-year-old girls on a birth control pill to addict them as an annuity, have them not want to have kids till their 30s, then they're infertile, then they have to come to me and buy IVF services. That's only if you'd want to make a bunch of money, though. Thank you so much for your time. God bless you both.
Maybe please.
Yes,
both
you
get
get 2 hats because you're twins.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Thank you. How's everyone doing today?
Good.
Thank
you both. God bless you guys.
You too.
That was a great question.
What's going on, man? I've been watching your videos since high school, so it's kind of crazy to go full circle in college, man. So how you doing today? Good. So I want to talk to you, and I don't want to misquote you, so if you could just restate your opinion. Oh, sorry. If you could just restate your opinion on this. You said that, obviously the auto industry here has been weakening over the years, and that you said these tariffs are going to help. Is that right?
Will almost certainly help the auto industry specifically, correct? Yeah.
Okay, so I mean, we've all seen the estimates that have been coming out where prices on cars are going to go up by 25%, 50%, right? And obviously, you know that components sometimes travel multiple times between a country on the borders between Canada, Mexico, and so on just to get to these auto manufacturers. My point is, if a car, right, if the cost goes up, demand will go down, right? And then obviously supply will go down, right? Because that's basically all of economics. And then at that point, if I don't have a high demand and I don't need to create a high supply to supply that, won't I need less workers?
Smart take. Number one, just so we remember, we saw car prices go up dramatically during COVID. Do you guys remember that? Because there was a chip shortage.
No, 100%.
No, I just want to make, and by the way, we endured that. And I'm not one to try to say we need higher prices because people are getting crushed. But I just want to have everyone remember, during COVID, we saw nearly a 50% increase in car prices, and it almost received no national news coverage. In fact, used cars were going more than new cars in certain markets because of, this specific chip shortage. The one thing I will say, though, is that I think you're underestimating America's consumer drive and the built-in demand for vehicles and new vehicles. I think actually demand will largely stay stable. I don't necessarily think prices are going to increase as much as you think. Because remember, these tariffs are on those made in foreign countries. Toyota makes a lot of their vehicles here. Those are not going to be tariffed. Hyundai makes a ton of their vehicles here. Honda just opened up a new facility, I think, in Kokomo, Indiana. And so The tariffs are a forcing function. I'm willing to play it out. Here's why. I know how Michigan has suffered economically. Detroit used to be the wealthiest city in America. It's a fact.
No, I agree.
It was a crown jewel. In fact, you look at the library, you look at the old buildings of Detroit, it's like going through ancient Athens, how much money